Welcome to Cardano Over Coffee. Make sure to join us live on Twitter Spaces Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:30 p.m. UTC. Joining us today is Charli3 Oracle, Cardano's first and only decentralized oracle. Don't forget we'll be at Rare Evo in Denver, Colorado, August 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets at rareevo.io. Use discount code COC10 for 10% off your cost. That's COC10. Grab your coffee and let's listen in on what Charli3 has been up to.
How's everyone doing here?
Doing really good. Just when are you going to follow the trend of tap tools? Just come out with, okay, roast me.
No, actually, Charli3 has a lot to share with us today.
Yo,
so.
happy anniversary, Charli3. Woo!
Hey,
Yeah,
there it is.
The anniversary.
Well,
2 years tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow is 2 years, since for token launch anyway. So since the company went live, really. So it's pretty good in crypto land to live for 2 years and be a real project.
We're approaching it, so we'll be a real project soon. We're getting there.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so exciting. 2 years, it is a big thing. So congratulations to you on that.
Thanks very much. We've got some nice, exciting stuff coming about, but are we moved on fully from Tap Tools talking here too? Because I don't want to take up any of their time.
No, they're done.
Okay.
They hang out. They come to the show a lot. So shout out to them.
And they're staying around to support you. So that's great.
Awesome.
Can I, just for those who don't know about Charli3, I know a lot of people have seen the cute little robot around, but for those who are not familiar, Charli3 is a decentralized oracle for Cardano. It's the first one, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And, for those also who don't know, oracles are programs that connect real world off-chain data to Cardano applications. So they're very cool, very useful. And Damon is here behind the PFP of Charli3 to talk to us about a lot of fun stuff coming up, including the first integration with Liqwid Finance protocol. So, yes. Yay!
So we'll get into it.
Absolutely. You wanna tell us a little bit about that, or why don't we start with just a little bit about just a tiny little intro on Charli3 and what led you to creating Charli3, and
Sure. Well, we can do that. Someone talks about following the trend of roast me, but you guys have already done that in the title by spelling our name wrong. So thank you.
Listen, I've spelled it wrong everywhere, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I had
co-host, fix it.
Of stuff.
It's dyslexia, man. We just can't, it is what it is.
You can't do an E and a 3.
I truly am dyslexic, so I apologize.
It's all good. So just a quick background on the company, I guess, when we started it. I mean, this was early days of anybody thinking about trying to build on Cardano, and obviously Cardano is meant for DeFi and RealFi, and that needs an oracle, and nobody at the time had been talking about building one, so we took on that risk of being able to do so. It's incredibly difficult. There's a reason why there's a bunch of DEXs and a zillion NFT projects and other things and only one oracle. It's pretty damn difficult to build, and a lot rides on it, and you have to take a lot of accountability onto your hands for everybody else's platforms, basically. So say like right now with Liqwid, the ADA USD price and their Shen USD price is provided by us for their markets. So anybody using their markets for those two things is using our feeds, and making sure that everything stays up and ready and all of your money is correctly traded is all because of us on those markets. And we're really, really excited to have that. The product has been live since October. The newest product has been live since February, but there's just like almost nobody to be able to use it at the moment. This is something that people constantly ask us, like, why aren't more people using it? And we're like, well, you you need a company and a product to be live before it can then start using other things. I can't go buy a apple from the grocery store if the grocery store hasn't been built yet. So that's the kind of situation we're waiting for right now. But it looks like Cardano DeFi is starting to ramp up. I know Tap Tools specifically, actually, we've talked to a couple of times along our development path, and we're looking at even just trying to put the free feeds. We have a couple of free feeds that were Catalyst funded. The ADA USD feed is one right now. Put that into an API so other people can use it just for aesthetic reporting on front ends. Someone like Tap Tools or Finance or EndMaker. This was Patrick from EndMaker. He actually requested that, and just a general API. So we thought, hey, well, why not? We're paying for it already, so just give it away and make sure it's easy for people to use that don't have a smart contract backend. So this is something we're trying to get going and continually updating what we have. So it's really sweet to see now that there's enough going on that an Oracle can be adopted into a protocol. And it's not very sexy for the regular people because it's just all back-end technicals that you don't see, but it makes everything go round for sure.
How long has the integration with Liqwid been going on?
I think it's nearing a month now. I can't remember exactly,
Sweet.
but it feels like about 5 years because of how much I've been working. But yeah, I think it's about a month now.
So I have a question. Through that integration with Liqwid, what challenges have you faced, and what solutions have you come up with that you're going to overcome those with your next integration?
Yeah, so that's a really great question, actually. One of the more recent things that we've come up with on the technical side was memory limits for the node operations. Because our base is written in Plutus TX, which is kind of extremely memory heavy. So it's how can we optimize the code best to fit those memory limits to manage all 5 nodes and the full aggregations. With the Shen market, it's not too bad because there's not enough dexes to pull from. So I do believe that there are 5 being pulled from, but 2 of them use the same reporting already. So it's really managing things from 3 sources, which is fine right now until another dex comes online, and then we can do that. Another major one is actually just what I was talking about is doing Cardano dexes and managing the CNT. So the Shen market is a hybrid. We're taking some from centralized chain off chain, so from BitTrue, which the Shen is listed on, off of Cardano, but then also from all the Cardano dexes. So it's a hybrid of both. And until things with Liqwid, we weren't able to do any CNTs. We hadn't looked into it, but the MuesliSwap team, actually, Niels from MuesliSwap, clued us into a couple of little things that allowed us to really step that up very quickly and get CNT capability up there, which is huge because there's a lot of projects that were asking for that specifically, like if they want to be able to use their CNT token to do like an online store or something and make sure that it's properly reported. Right now, though, a lot of these early projects don't have like liquidity pools on multiple dexes, so it doesn't make sense to use an Oracle because they only have one spot where the token is. But the point is that it's available now as a product. So that was one thing. As far as the memory issue, we were able to overcome that, and it's fine now. The CNT thing, had to overcome that. We had a bit of a dependency that we noticed on using Blockfrost and Ogmios. So we were able to come up with a backup for that if their servers kind of went down, which did happen for like a 25-minute period, but we had a redundancy backup, so there was no loss in service, which we were very happy about, and our response time was like less than a minute when things went down. So it was awesome. So there's a lot of this. And then on a business side, it's just, how do you manage the contracts properly? How do you manage all of the pricing properly? Because on-chain and, things are, the on-chain transaction costs don't go down because it's just how it is. So how do you manage that? And that's also another memory issue. So there's a lot of things we're learning from this first integration that'll just make every other one so much faster and just give us the building blocks to begin with. So we're really thankful that Liqwid has been along this journey with us, and they plan to launch, as it was in our announcement with them, they plan to launch more markets with us and more feeds from Charli3 coming up relatively soon. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And you don't learn anything until you actually integrate on mainnet, right? So you can piss around in testnet and do all that you want to do, but until you actually integrate, and it's a learning experience, and it's good to hear that you've learned some things and you're going to grow from it.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had some internal shifts of different things, which we will be announcing more this week. I'll drop some stuff on this chat today. That's a little bit of alpha, and just for the people that are here. But yeah, it's been exciting. So we've had the product on mainnet since October of last year, and the full Vasil features product since February 14th hard fork. But yeah, nobody's used it. So we have been screwing around and making sure that everything's proper. And there's a weird misconception that people have thought of, if nobody's using you, then how can we see if the product's working? It's like, no, the product's exactly the same on mainnet as it was when we've been launched, since it's been launched. It's just same thing with that apple sitting on the grocery store cart or whatever, right? It's there. It's no different. It's just you got to grab it and take a bite. And finally Liqwid did, but it does show us a lot more on the business side than the technical side of what we need to get done, but also just how to manage the customer a little bit better and their communities. And that's the biggest side is more on the business development along with it. But you're absolutely right. Until we have that, didn't know what might come up, and I'm sure we'll still deal with many things.
I kind of worded it wrong by saying on mainnet, because you've been on mainnet till somebody integrates you on mainnet, I should say, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all
I have
good,
a question because I remember you had a drop. Didn't you have Cuties?
Oh, yes. Yes, we had NFTs a long time ago, like a year ago. I think we sold out of them, opened it up and sold them out. And it's been a whole thing with those, that I had a very unique vision for what we wanted to do as far as staking with those, which was to do token lockup along with the NFT lockup, and no one was able to do that until just recently. So that's the I guess the alpha that we will drop today, just now, a few hours early before I put out the actual announcement, is that we finally will have staking for the NFT cuties that will happen within somewhere between now and the next month and a half-ish. But we'll announce it today, and that will be with Infinity Pools, the brand new NFT platform, will be, I think, their principal launch partner for that. So the NFT cuties will have a staking operation finally, so people can use them for some shit. They already have utility, but people don't really seem to care about anything other than just gaining free money from them. But we want to be able to reward the community for helping us out and building that up. The main purpose of the NFT project before was to try and bring in more people from the NFT community into DeFi to learn more and into Oracles. We didn't really make much money off of it. Most of the money went to the minting platform and the artist. I think 40% went to the artist or something like that. And then we only got 15 or 20% off of it. Um, so,
Nice. So there's some utility now. Like, that's great.
Well, yeah, if you consider staking utility, but yeah, there
I
is.
guess that's what
Yeah,
people call a utility nowadays, to be honest.
yeah,
But
for
I agree
free
with
money.
you.
Yeah, there's some other stuff we're doing with some other games where you can use them to get custom decals on your cars and different stuffs such as that. I would love to use them in the future as tokens or tickets to delegation staking towards our node operations, so you can get rewards for the node network actually working properly. But that's a far, far future situation, but that I would love to use them for. But for right now, we'll finally have the staking operations up with, like I said, with Infinity Pools. And I'm pretty excited about that. It's another Canadian type company and brand new, and they finally have this functionality built in to be able to lock up C3 tokens with the NFT. So the rewards will be the same for every rarity, but that doesn't change. But the higher rarity requires less tokens to lock up. So the mythics, you have 0 lockup token, but the uncommons, you'll have the largest amount to lock up. So that's how you get rewarded for having a higher rarity, is you have to have less C3 tokens. And if you're someone that's just a massive NFT whale, because there are some people that have like 100 plus of these things, there's only 2,000 and a bit of them. But those people are NFT people, so they don't have a ton of Charli3, so they might then go and sell those NFTs to get some Charli3 or get some ADA to buy some Charli3 to stake a few of them instead. So it equals
No.
out and it pushes them into more holders' hands.
No, I'm not selling mine. Sorry, I own multiple. Bye.
You don't have to sell them, but you have to have C3 to stake them.
Here,
There
I
you
got
go.
C3 for it.
That brings me to the next question about C3. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, the token has
So
been wild.
what is the token about, and where can you find it?
Yeah, so the token for us, our utility of the C3 token is that it is used for the node operation payout. So the people that are actually running those nodes and running that node software and grabbing those prices from different sources and running it through the aggregation and putting it on chain, those people get paid for that work with the C3 token. Projects will be required to buy that token off the market, have a wallet that then pays out. That's one utility. The other utility, I guess, is for staking operations, and the other one is for node delegations. So those node operators have to put up a significant stake of C3 to show they have skin in the game. And if they mess up at all, those C3 tokens got taken away from them, and it's quite a good chunk. So yeah, it's to try to keep people on it. It can be found at any Cardano DEX. I think the 4 or 5 of them that are up right now. I can't remember how many DEXs there are right now, but MinSwap, Sunday Swap, Muesli Swap, and Wing Riders for sure. And I know the Buy Finance, whenever they launch their platform, will also have that our token on it.
Sweet. And we have Big Joe here with a hand up. You have a question?
Yeah,
Good
I do have a
morning.
question for Charlie. When I think of oracles, I just think of the weird ladies from 300 where he had to
Yeah.
climb up the cliff, or the lady from The Matrix where they keep changing the actress. That's what I think of oracles. When it comes to oracles and DeFi, what does that mean? You get like off-chain information and put it in the smart contract for us, or how exactly does that go?
Yeah, it's we grab any kind of data off or on chain really, and are able to check it against many multiple prices or other sets of data of that same value to cross-reference and have redundancy measures to make sure that value is correct. Because some of these platforms mess up a lot. Like, say if you just grabbed from one API, but then somebody either attacked your system or their system and shut it down, and people were trading on that value, then it's an issue. So I'll just say last night in one of the wallets I used, even for our own token, was actually reporting the price of our token at 17 cents, not 20 something cents, right? Because they're grabbing it from a single source, and that single source messed up. And when I went and sent money, a bunch of C3 tokens to somebody, I was going off of that value in that wallet. And then I calculated it yesterday for our accounting at the correct value and realized that I sent them about 25% too much. So that's fine for me because I didn't mind giving that person extra money. But if you're trading back and forth and you lose 25% difference, that's shit. You know, like, sorry for my colorful language there, but that's horrendous, you know? So, that's the main issue that Oracles solve is proper price reporting and systems going down. So we take from many multiple sources to make sure everything's proper. So if one goes down, there's always backups.
So you talk to the DeFi gods. Let us know
Yes.
what's really going on. I get it. By the way, that was very unprofessional of you, cussing like that and saying shit on this interview. But
I
that makes
know.
me
I'm
trust you. No, it's all good. It made me
so
trust you more
sorry.
now. I didn't trust you before that, but now that you said shit, I was like, hell yeah, I like this guy.
Thanks, Big Joe.
Oh, that's funny. Big Joe always bringing the laughs. I don't know. I'll take coffee. Was it you first or Crypto Bamba? I mean, you're always first to me.
He can go. He can go.
Hey guys, thank you for bringing me in, and I have a question for Charli3. So two questions actually. So the first one is, in practice, what does it take from a project on Cardano to integrate into your Oracle?
Not much. Basically, you have to be able to run still waking up. You have to be able to run our datum format or datum standard that our feed runs on, basically, and our team will help you out with that. But it is a back-end smart contract filled situation, so certain projects don't manage that, you know, like NMaker doesn't do any of that, so they can't integrate in the same way.
Is that something that the team needs to put something out of pocket for?
So right now there is an integration fee, but it really depends on how much work is actually needed with each project. So that is calculated based on need, right? So with Liqwid, it was basically, well, we waived the fee because it was our first integration. But they had already done a lot of that work because we just gave them all the documentation and they did it. But if somebody wants us to build out that back end for them, then obviously it would be more money to manage that because it's our time.
And in the future, is it something that's going to be like a reoccurring payment for the Oracle, or do they need to purchase the token to then distribute to the nodes or something like that?
Yeah, so it is recurring payments for sure. The ADA USD feed is free for the hourly updates that we currently have. But every other feed is paid for past that, anything that's unique. And it's based on need and based on updates. So we'll agree to a flat heartbeat, meaning how many times, you know, per hour or on the hour or whatever. But the extra costs, think of it like a cell phone bill. If you have your set cost and then you have extra, and this extra is that the Oracle is checking everything every 2.5 minutes. And if there is a deviation or fluctuation in the price of that pair by whatever the situation is right now, the ADA one is set to a 1% deviation. If there's a 1% deviation within 2.5 minutes, it will trigger another aggregation, another update, and then that would be also charged for. So that's kind of how we're dealing with the accounting model for the payment of the Oracle. And we're trying to reduce costs as much as possible, but it is just mainly a memory issue on Cardano at the moment. So reducing transaction fees on chain.
Awesome. Thank you. And so first of all, congratulations with your integration. Yeah. And I wanted to ask, with the upcoming EVM sidechains, I know it's a little bit too soon, maybe, but how are you looking to utilize them? And is there any chance to see projects outside of Cardano using Charli3 this year?
Ooh, this year, unless something major comes up, I don't see it happening. But never say never. Who's to say? But we really need to. Cross-chain is definitely 100% in the future. I think that's on our website and everything too. So cross-chain is there, but getting there is a lot different. Obviously, the UTXO model is quite heavily different, so we can't just pop over. If we could do that, Chainlink could just come over too. It's the reason why we're the only ones here, and they're not developing because Cardano is so different and difficult to develop for. But yeah, it's definitely in the future. I just don't see it happening this year. As far as sidechain stuff goes, we've been looking into Hydra for a very long time. We were asked to help develop it in early days, but it didn't work out properly. And the other stuff with Mamba, I don't know what's happening there, but it would be very beneficial for us to run our aggregation process on a side chain because it would be cheaper and faster than it would be in our current version. So we would love to do that, but it really just depends on what development happens on those coming up.
Have you got to try or test the alpha versions of the EVM?
No, we have not.
Okay. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thanks very much.
And we have Lido and Matt. They probably have amazing questions for you. So.
Sure.
I don't know who came up first. I was distracted. Sorry.
Amazing questions. I don't know if they're that amazing.
I know that you guys usually do, so I love it. I love that he has time for those.
Yours,
I mean, Lido came up on a free day. That's a big thing. So
the circle meeting ended early today, so I was able to get in here. Thank goodness. Well, I don't know. Never mind. Moving on. Wow. Congratulations on the forward movement. There's something I've been following that's related to Catalyst is the developer portal.
Yeah.
Did we already talk about that?
No, we haven't. So that would be something that's still coming up. Obviously, for the developer portal, that front-end portal, we needed to have a lot of this development finished. So that has been lacking a little bit, I would say. Part of that developer portal is the just general documentation about the Oracle, which we do have up partially. So the Git book is there. It has a lot. There's been parts of it that have been published. So that is up. You can find it. Maybe I'll find a bit and link it up here. Let me do that quickly. But
we can, if it's posted somewhere, we can have Notice a Wiz. He'll find it.
Yeah, we can find it. But just to double click on that, in the last Catalyst report, I think you guys said the MVP was just about ready. What's that? Is that the documentation or what's the MVP? What's the deliverable?
Yeah, so the deliverable there for the developer portal is mainly a front-end portal that shows the tracking of the price as well as the updates, the aggregations. So you can see exactly what all 5 nodes reported, what the aggregation median value was spit out, at what day, at what time, when it triggered the extra price reporting from the deviations. And you can see that all the way through. So you can track the efficiency of the Oracle price feed. So you'll be able to see each different feed history.
Just to speed up the situation here, it's C in as in like an SDK. Are you targeting a specific language?
Yes. So the SDK stuff, again, this has been very different. We've switched quite a lot, right? So like I said, we had Plutus TX stuff. Everything we have right now for the node operation software is in Python. And now we're looking into doing a lot of stuff with Option and Aiken. So this is another reason why this has kind of been delayed, is because our documentation and our infrastructure keeps changing along the way.
Let me see if I get this right. So as a developer, right,
Yeah.
this MVP comes online, I can see these feeds in what language? Or am I just looking at the dashboard?
The language for what's being reported in is going to be Plutus on chain.
Okay. And that's the MVP. So I'll be able to see these in Plutus as a developer when this thing come online.
Just a better version of it. I mean, you can see that on chain already. You know, the stuff is there, but it's to have an SDK. It's to have all of the integration documentation that you'll need to actually get involved and run the feeds yourselves. You know, like integrate the feeds. So this is what
usually when I think SDK,
I
mean, usually people get like an off-chain like library, right? Like Python or TypeScript or C# or Haskell, whatever, right? For the off-chain bits, but that's not what this MVP is.
No, it should be not for the MVP. That'll be later when we have all that extra. So that would be Plutus and Python mainly.
Thanks.
For sure. And yes, we do need to do more of that, but there's a lot to do and only so many hours and people to manage it. But that is being built.
I told you it would be an amazing question. Something that nobody will come up with.
One word. I want to say a couple of shout outs to people in the chats here that I see. I mean, Josh and Addie, nice to see you. Obviously, Jenny, you're there. And there was a lot of other people, including my mom. My mom's down there too, so that's fun.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Thanks for stopping.
We love Damon.
We like your son. He's a pretty cool dude. I met him at Rare Evo. Are you going this year?
Yeah, I will be going personally, but we're not doing a booth this year.
Well, as long as you're going to be there, stop by. Maybe.
What about a talk? Are you doing a talk or anything?
I have asked the guys, Rand, but they are reserving it for bigger people than myself, or people who pay to have a booth. So,
and what about the workshops? Even for workshops?
Yeah, it's all paid for slots, and that's fair. I mean, that's part of their business model for this stuff. So I did ask them about doing potential workshops or a talk on stage, and they said it's just because they're branching out to so many other industries, you know, not just Cardano, they need to have more representation for the other chains and other types of things. So like they've got people from like Blizzard and Activision and Nickelodeon and stuff coming to talk about how they're using. And I think that's way more important than just talking about, you know, an Oracle or workshops I might have for new people on navigating crypto landscapes and stuff like that.
Kind of. I agree. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I love what you're doing, and the expansion is just, I'm getting ready to be mind blown, to be honest, for what it was last year to what it's going to be this year. But I think that it opens up room for our ecosystem. That's also room for us to collaborate. So maybe you say Charli3, it's not like us, but Charli3 with this, with that. I mean, I think the collaborations right now, it's also helping us put ourselves on a map for those newer people that are coming into this, you know, conference. So I don't know. It's just something to think about. We together we can be equally big, you know?
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing to try and get these different industries in there and getting their communities and investors and other people with eyes on to Cardano, because I think one of our very major problems on this chain is just volume. We have zero liquidity in comparison to other chains, and it makes it harsh, you know. So getting more eyes from multiple sources is huge in creating more long-lasting, sustainable, faster building ecosystem.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to see you there. I mean, we have Big Joe and Epox. I know that you've been super overextended, but I think they want to they want to say something.
Yeah, just a quick question. Do you see multiple wives or child support payments in my future?
Oh, Big Joe.
He's not that kind of oracle, Big Joe.
Oh my God, I love this.
Big Joe, I'm going to say yes to the first, no to the second. Let's have the best life for you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. That one will give to you for free.
Now pay the man because it costs to be an oracle. Go ahead, Ethan.
Yeah, give me the money. No, it's all good.
Oh my God, I'm laughing so hard. Epoch, save me.
Yeah,
So,
Epoch.
is there any minimum to the amount of kind of C3 that you need for staking? And sorry if you answered this earlier. I had to drop off my kid at school.
For node operations or for the cuties or what
Both.
were you asking for?
All
Both.
over.
Okay. So node operations wise, right now, we haven't required our initial set of node operators to manage stake just because they're also not getting paid. It's an agreement we have for the future with these specific people in order to get the network up and running quickly. So we're working that all out, and basically once it becomes more public for more people to apply to, because right now it's just more of a permissioned secret system, I'll say, just to protect the network as we get up and running. Once it becomes more public, we'll have more information on that, and it will really depend on kind of the price of the token at that moment to how much we calculate for that. For the long-term future, we're looking at per node something like a full percent of the token supply is needed for that node in order to operate, and we do not expect the node operator to have that full percent, and this is where the delegation staking would come in, whereas like maybe for a full percent you need 7.5 or 0.75% fully delegated in order to have that node properly running. So it's kind of like a stake pool situation where you get a bunch of people to put in more C3 to your pool, and they all benefit a little bit off of it, but you as the main operator of the node get paid out the most. So the initial set price, the initial set amount will be much lower for people, but getting a set value on that will be more difficult. But it will be public as soon as that comes out. And answering the questions that Anti had for what's coming up into the future, that's actually something we're working on more heavily right now, is getting node applications more out there to the community. However, it is still going to be a permission system. It's not permissionless. And again, it's just for security purposes for us. We'll KYC everybody that comes in. And typically we're going to be using the main data providers for other oracles like Chainlink, which we're already talking to for the last year and a half, and stake pool operators from the community in Cardano here. So you still have to have a good, decent technical background because we need to know that you can manage and manage the software, and that's it. But yeah, we'll work on that with those people when they come up for how much is needed. It won't be a small amount, but it'll be reachable by a person. And we'll, even for the initial set of people, we'll probably have some sort of a long-term payment solution where, you can only put up 15 or 20% right now. Okay, we'll take 20% of whatever your rewards would be back to the company for X amount of time in order to pay for that stake over time. And we can probably set that up with people. That's not a guarantee. I'm just saying there's multiple ways that we'll manage it.
And are you good on the number of node operators that you have? Are you still looking for more? Any message for the SPOs on the group?
Yeah, so there will be, we will open it up to more. So the difference is we kind of have an Oracle pool type system, but it's not been activated yet because we're only running certain feeds right now, and we're running 5 nodes, and that's all we can actually handle right now is 5 nodes that are used for the aggregation. But that doesn't mean we can't have more nodes that would be reporting on different price feeds. It's just per aggregation, only 5 can be managed right now because of memory limitations. So yeah, we'll be open to more. So just keep an eye out for when we put that out there for applications, and that'll have minimum requirements for hardware and bandwidth and all the other general stuffs that you're going to need, as well as experience. And then we'll probably be doing interviews and stuff like that. But we want to grow it out to 10 or 15 within the next few months, if it's viable and if there's enough customers to have that on there. So that's something we want, because we don't want one node running too many different types of feeds. So that's where the pool system kind of would come in, where there'd be some overlapping nodes and some not, and some fresh ones, but there's only 5 included in every aggregation. Past that, it's kind of like ridiculously redundant. That is just gets way too expensive for no reason.
Got it. Well, thank you for the detail around that, and thanks for coming on the show today. Would love to have you back when there's another major milestone. It's great to see Oracle progress. So thanks again.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty happy about it. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'll take another question or two. We're good.
All right. I guess we can, right?
Yeah,
We still have time.
if people got hands up.
We need to rotate somebody here, though. I'm sorry if we move you
I
around
volunteer.
because we
I
have.
volunteer. It's tribute.
Okay, bye, Big Joe.
I love you, man.
He got his
I see Lord with a hand
he
up.
got his Oracle question answered, so he's good to go now. Lord, go ahead.
He sacrificed himself for the Oracle.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Well, hello. First of all, hello, Charli3. How you doing, Damon?
Doing pretty good. Nice to see you again, man.
Yes, sir. So I do have a question. Are we roasting right now, or is this like a full?
I mean, you can do whatever you want, man.
Oh, thank you. Well, I won't roast you. I do have a question. Because Lido popped on earlier, and it brought this question to mind. Now, project funding for build out. You all ran the Catalyst proposal, I think, for Fund 8. I can't really remember. I remember
8
voting
and
on it.
yeah, it was not the last one, but the 2 prior to that we did. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, I know all of your proposals didn't get funded. Do you plan on doing another Catalyst proposal in the future by any chance?
Whenever they decide to pop their heads back up, we'll be right in there. Yep. We have things that we need help with for funding and ideas, but obviously that's not up right now. So I don't know the status of Catalyst currently.
Okay. Have you all thought of any fundraising projects that you could, take part in, perhaps?
Not quite sure. As far as funding goes, we did just get funded a little bit more yesterday, which is very nice. I'll be making an announcement, so this is more, alpha, I guess, for you guys here on Cardano Over Coffee. But yeah, we did get funded yesterday a little bit more, so that's exciting. So we have a fair bit more runway now than we did before, which allows us to continue development into the future. As far as fundraising in other areas, not really sure. I mean, we've been chasing any kind of fundraising or investment or anything for quite a long time. And just nobody is in this market. Nobody's willing to do anything. Even the biggest whales that could lose $1 million and don't care aren't willing to put money anywhere. So at least not on Cardano. I see it on other chains pretty consistently, but not here. So it's tough going, but we're feeling pretty good now as far as future goes. And if any opportunities come up, we're definitely willing to take it.
Yeah, that's an awesome answer. I don't know if Book.io is willing to share some of their trade secrets, but Mark Cuban seems to like one of the projects on Cardano. So just throwing that out there.
I wish it was us.
All right. Well, thank you, Damon. Thank you for answering my question. Thank you, Cardano Over Coffee, and thank you, Cardano. Good morning.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. Gold rush.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and thank you, Damon, for coming on this morning. I've appreciated the conversation. I was curious, I was listening to someone talk about Aiken the other day and how it might be 10 to 20%, 10 to 20 times more efficient with memory. You said that you'd written things in Plutus. I was curious if you guys considered maybe moving over to the Aiken language, or and what type of efficiencies you think that might bring.
Yeah, so
It
I
is the
did.
Aiken era. Not gonna lie.
Yes. So I did mention that earlier when we were talking about the memory issues, is that Aiken is the first thing we're doing right now and implementing that, like researching and making sure that it's implemented properly. But also within Python. So Niels from MuesliSwap is heading up the option Python Cardano integration language and integrating Aiken into that as well. So we're kind of like dual slapping that into our process to reduce our memory usage heavily. So yes, absolutely, exactly what you're saying. And 10 times is about what we're looking at, which would also allow us to increase our node operation and node network and security quite a lot without increasing price too much as well. So it's huge if we can manage to implement that. It seems to be the big deal. Plutus TX is a beast, so we need to figure out ways around it as a community.
Thank you. And I have one more real quick, if I could just squeeze in one more. Like, let's say that there was a sporting event coming up and I wanted to set up some type of a wager platform for that one event. How quickly could you guys have that set up to watch those, whatever metrics, the score or whatever? Like, how much heads up would you need to link up with that real world data to get that online?
Probably, I would say, like, say you're talking about World Cup, right? We would probably need like 2 months in advance to manage that. So a month to probably build that out fully, because that's a totally different API plugin reporting system. And trying to find the different sources for that data. Typically, we're going to want the customers to come to us and say, hey, we found these sources, use this, for unique sets of data like that. The other problem with sporting data specifically is that you need a reseller's license for that. So we would need time to get the reselling license, but we would also have to run a price report on that, because they will charge you, the people that have that data, the big networks, big sporting networks, charge a ton to get access to their APIs. So then we have to increase that as well, right, to make a profit on our side. And at that point, is the customer willing to pay? So because it might be very expensive and not worth it for you. So this is a major issue as far as Oracle price reporting on any chain for sports data specifically. It tends to end up being too expensive to manage, but it's definitely doable. It's just the expense on it because of how much the owners of that data require for it. But I'd say about 2 months.
I'm going to drop back down to listener. Thank you.
Can we go back to the Aiken thing for just one hot minute?
Okay. I don't know if I have a minute to speak on it. It's not my area of expertise, but we can go back to it.
No, not speak on it. And this is maybe a benefit for other people in the crowd who's thinking about switching to Aiken. I have rebuilt Lido Nation code base like 3 times now, and Lido is not a complicated site, right? And that was not a trivial thing. It was a lot of my time, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a Plutus built, shouldn't you just go live with that and then do a V2 with Aiken? Because that's a lot of work, and Aiken is not mainnet clear yet, right?
Yeah, we're trying not to restructure the architecture at all, because that would be an insane chunk of work. We're trying to just, implement it where it needs to be to reduce memory usage. And that's mainly on the Python node operation aggregation format. As far as the, UTXO that's on chain and that reporting, we're probably going to keep that, at least that small version of Plutus TX within our code, to make sure that it's secure on chain that way. So
that makes sense. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
But
we
all
don't
the
want to
other
have to
stuff,
re-architect again.
like connect, yeah, but all the other integrations are like, I mean, I can make sense for that. Make it,
Hmm.
Yeah, if you're, I guess if
absolutely.
you're still writing new code, right? Then yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
for sure.
just for the people in the crowd again, Aiken still isn't like clear for mainnet yet. It's still being developed heavily, so
Yeah,
just keep that in mind with your timelines and stuff like that.
yeah. The timelines are always too
Cardano
heavily
late.
expected.
I mean, but I mean, I understand that, but I mean, the way that's being written, it's pretty like easy to
More than clueless, for
audit.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah, but if you are planning on going live in a few months, I don't know. Either wait and not go live in a few months, or if you want to use ICANN, or you might just want to think twice.
So
Because
you're
it could
probably
put
better
you
off
in a
waiting.
sticky situation.
Yeah, probably better off waiting.
So I want to thank you, Damon. Especially you stayed an extra half hour over your time. For those that don't know, this is Hero Pool. This is my other account. Shh, don't tell anybody. So thank you.
and this is Jenny here. So we're both like exchanging like different personalities here. The anti coffee is like the evil version of the coffee cup.
I
But
mean, I'm still.
actually, I think it's the opposite. I think anti coffee is nicer.
You're probably right.
I feel like he is a
Well,
little bit, except for the thumbs down thing. I don't know. It's very Caesar-esque.
well, I'll give my last little shout out to myself here. Just a last thing, again, drop the alpha. We'll have the main announcement on it, but that is the NFT staking capabilities with the C3 Cuties collection. That will be on Infinity Pools, which is brand new. They'll be launching their Discord today, so go follow them, Infinity Pools, on Twitter here, and watch out for their Discord stuff. We'll be their initial launch partner. It is our anniversary. We will have more announcements, like saying we got funded today a little bit longer, so that's a little good thing for the community to know that we're making it through the bear market and it's more safe again. And there'll be more announcements tomorrow. I put a little hint out about all of the things that we have coming up, the five major things. And next week, this has already been kind of talked about in our Discord, but we're having a game night for all communities, whoever wants to join in on Wednesday. Next Wednesday, it'll be next Wednesday at 2200 UTC, which I think is like 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to just play a bunch of Jackbox games, jackbox.tv. I don't know if you guys have played that, but I don't know. It's pretty fun. We ran one a while ago. We had a good time, and we just want more people involved this time. So watch our Twitter. If you haven't given it a follow yet, do that. We'll have a few announcements coming out this week and a couple big ones tomorrow. So
we used to play a lot of those games actually. The NFT community, when we're a little like small.
yeah,
We used to play a lot of those games. This is fun times. So
sweet.
that's next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern time.
I think it's about 5 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So I ran a little poll to see which people liked best and like for times, and it was about 5 p.m. Eastern, I think. So 2200 UTC, whatever that ends up being. And I'll send that over to you, Jenny, once I have the actual announcement out, so that way you can share it with your people, and we'll get more people in.
Sweet.
We're going to run that in our Discord.
Sure. Cool.
So go join our Discord and listen to our stuff. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to Cardano Over Coffee. We'd like to thank our guest Damon from Charli3 Oracle. We look forward to a bright future in Cardano with Charli3 Oracles. We hope to see you all at the Rare Evo event on August 24th through the 26th. Tickets are on sale now at rareevo.io. Use coupon code COC10 for 10% off. COC10. Have a great day.